abortions. Did you ever come across pro-lifers, and what was your perspective on pro-lifers?
People always ask that. Now understand, as I tell people, I was not running an abortion clinic. I was running a regular OBGYN office like most women have gone to. We did deliveries, we did hysterectomies. Abortion certainly was a part of our practice. And it was during those 3 years before I stopped doing abortions in that private practice that I arrived at my office one day and there were picketers surrounding our building, praying, holding their signs. They didn't have our names on the signs, but we knew they were there for us. And people frequently ask me, what are you thinking when we're outside picketing? And I would tell them what we were thinking, what you're thinking when you're in that situation. It gave us a siege mentality. It was us against those kooks outside.
Mm. And when you saw folks outside, where did you get the stereotype that they were kooks?
Everybody in the pro-abortion, every abortionist knows that everyone, involved in the pro-life movement is a kook. I mean, CNN tells me so. They would never lie to me.
Do you remember any of kind of exchanges that you had with pro-life advocates?
I remember very vividly an exchange, but it didn't happen quite the way you might imagine. It was during that time when a woman came to me as a new patient. Her name was Susan, didn't even come up to my shoulders. Came in for a routine OBGYN appointment, OBGYN annual exam and a pap smear. Did her exam, and then at the end of the exam, she looked at me and said, "Can I talk to you?" Now, doctors know that many patients, I think especially women, won't really tell you what's on their mind until they've established some level of trust. Mm. And so it wasn't all that unusual that she did that. And so I sat down in my office and looked at her and professionally looked at her and said, "Ma'am, how can I help you?" And she absolutely blew me away when she said, I've been sent here to give you a message that Jesus loves you. He cares about you. This is not what he had intended for your life, to be an abortionist. Please stop." Now, I had one overwhelming thought when she said that, and that was, I've got to hustle this kook out of my office as fast as I could, and I did. A year later, she showed up for her routine annual exam and pap smear. And when the exam was over, she said, "Can I talk to you?" And I went, "Oh no." Now, understand, it's not like I never darkened the inside of a church before, but people who were really demonstrative about their faith really made me uncomfortable. And she basically said the same message, more or less. I've been sent here to give you a message that Jesus loves you. He cares about you. This is not what he intended for your life, to be an abortionist. Please stop. Now, believe me, I remembered what she had said the year before. But in the intervening year between those two visits, I received at least 3 personal greeting cards sent to the office, to me, marked confidential, with the message written on the card. One time during that intervening year, I arrived in my office and there was a plate of brownies sitting on my desk with the message tied to the brownies. It's funny, I wouldn't have put a name or a title to what was going on, but Joe Scheidler of the Pro-Life Action League, who's written several books, calls that adopting an abortionist. And that's exactly what this woman did. Now, it's really interesting. It was not till much later that I realized, that I found out, that she was one of the people picketing my office. And I have a message for people, especially for women. Oh, Dr. X does abortions. I would never go to him. Well, you're never going to change somebody's mind you can picket all you want. You may or may not change somebody's mind that way, but I will suggest to you that most of the time you won't. And you can yell at someone and scream at them, but I can absolutely tell you, you will not convince their mind about anything that way. If you're going to convince somebody that maybe the path they're walking is wrong, you need a relationship with that person of some sort to be able to start that dialogue. This lady was very clever. She became a patient. Believe me, doctors listen to their patients.
It's amazing, and definitely a message to women who are pro-life that maybe that doctor that is performing abortions is one to go talk to.
Exactly. I will no longer do any more abortions. When you finally figure out that killing a baby that big for money is wrong, that it doesn't take you too long to figure out it doesn't matter if the baby is this big or this big or this big or maybe even this big, it's all the same. And I haven't done any since then, and I never will.